it's your boy Freak here, and I'm back with another video. Before we start, I hope you guys are enjoying the expansion. For me at least, it's been hella fun. Quite a bit to do, and none of it mandatory, which I'm actually a very big fan of. Like, really. It fits perfectly into the, sense of if you want to do it for your own sake, if that's something that interests you, whether it would be for player power or toys or rep or, I don't know, cosmetics, just go do it. If not, you don't have to worry about it because none of the gear or anything that you acquire will be relevant in literally 2 days from basically shooting this video. So, today's topic, basically gear acquisition and what to craft, how to get it, what items to farm, what content to grind, and these are the things that I'll be covering for you today, so you don't have to kind of look for that information on Wednesday while everybody's already on the grind. Alright, to begin with, now, there is something that you probably are going to have to do. I'm pretty sure you've already done it on your mains, but if, for example, you've decided, okay, that's not the character that I'm going to be playing with, and you're wondering, you're definitely going to require Spark of Ingenuity. That one you can get by either completing the campaign, or it used to be that you had to do the Teldrassus campaign, which I had to do for my odds, for me, and the day, like 2 days after they implemented the skip. For those of you that haven't done it yet, you should go here to the Titan Lady and pick up a quest which is going to take you to Desert Spawn. It's a short quest, you just complete it and you're gonna have the first spark, and the second one, I don't know how you're gonna acquire it, but it will be available on Wednesday with the season release, basically. Now that we're done with this, what we are going to require, let me open this the crafting order system, two-handed stuff, boys. Stuffs. Alright. What you're gonna need, besides Sparks of Ingenuity, is Primal-Chaos, which also drops from anything that you do in the world. If you fancy yourself digging, go dig. It does drop from digging. A little bit less now, however, after the nerfs. It's dropping from sieges, from bosses, from killing rares, super rares. It's gonna drop from the world bosses, it's dropping from dungeons, and I'm pretty sure it's gonna drop from the raid. I don't think I've read it anywhere, but I mean, it's something that I assume it will just automatically happen because it's, an important ingredient. Now, I already mentioned Spark, and the other one that is very important is, where is it? The Primal Infusion, which right now I'll share the information that I have so far with you about these. However, I myself am a little bit confused from what I'm reading, from the sources that I've been reading. So, the Primal Infusion, which is the lesser one, this one, you are going to create by combining 10 concentrated, which are the higher ones, and 150 Primal-Chaos. That's how you get this one. Or, I'm not sure, no, I don't think it's from the Last of the Renown, but I think somebody read it, but it was incorrect. It doesn't matter. Point is, I'm not sure why you spent 10 of the higher ones to create the smaller ones. I hope it's a typo error on the source, or it's something that Blizzard... I mean, come on, it doesn't make any sense. Yeah, so I'm not gonna look too much into it, but that's how you should be creating it. I'll pin a comment in the video if it's not correct, obviously. Now, how you get these concentrated Primal Infusions, you're going to get these by killing mythic bosses. That's 100%. I am assuming it should drop from heroic and normal. Probably it's going to be a % chance, I'm not sure. But then it's going to be a little funky. I don't know, like dropping this from content that's lower, and like basically awards two or 4 items from heroic, and dropping that one that you can, craft a very high mythic piece. I'm not sure how that works, but it hasn't been, heroic hasn't been mentioned yet, so it's only from mythic confirmed so far. So we'll see if it drops from heroic, but yeah, I have my doubts for it. But it's 100% from mythic, and it's 100% from completing dungeons at plus 16, and everybody in the party are going to get it. So if you're grinding dungeons, make sure that you're grinding at least 16s, yeah? Now, let's move forward to the actual crafting and what's a priority that you guys are probably going to look into. Now, the very first item that you're probably going to create with your spark is the neck. I'm pretty sure everybody's already aware of the neck. It's this piece of jewelry that we're talking about. Where is it? The elemental lariat. So this bad boy here has a chance to empower, basically to give you secondaries or whatever gem you've slotted into it, and you can slot up to 3 gems, 3 sockets with the item that you buy from Jewelcrafters on the auction house, which is a little bit pricey right now. I've been selling those bad boys myself, so thank you very much for whoever is buying. But yeah, you can put 3 sockets on this guy, and you can even put a gem that's, you know, giving me stats. So that's another one that you can probably get. As far as proccing, I don't know if it's too powerful, it might get nerfed. I hope they're hands off from these things in the first couple of weeks, because it's gonna feel super terrible if you're like investing your spark, which is time gated, like every second week I think you get one, and after that I'm not sure, like after the 5th week there is no information. It's probably just gonna get like for free every week in the vault. I don't know, like they haven't specified on this one, but first 5 weeks it's every first 5 are like every 2 weeks I think you're getting one. So I hope they don't nerf it right after everybody crafted, because that's what everybody's going to craft first. Now let's speak about the ingredients that you can use here. Yeah, so obviously you can choose secondary stats here and infuse it with power, which is going to get the item to 408 or 418. Now, speaking of the item level, it's important that you guys are not putting these as a public order, and here's why. Because if you put it as a public order, you cannot specify what quality. So make sure you build it in-house or to a personal crafter, and you can select the quality here, and that will put it to 4 like that should put it to 418, but it's a little bit rough if I remember correctly. I have it on my mage, I have to double check, but like if you haven't like spec'd a lot of points into the neck, it's a little bit rough. Yeah, so you're going to have to rely on inspiration procs to get it to max quality, which inspiration procs happen quite frequently. However, whoever is crafting it for you will have to have a bunch of artisan's metal to keep recrafting. So that's the one that's the ingredient that that person needs to keep recrafting. So make sure that you give it to a person that, you know, if you want it max quality and they have to be recrafting, they need to have this, so you don't get, I'm sorry for the word, but cucked basically. So yeah, this is already an embellished item, by the way. The special effect here means that it's an embellished one. As you can see, it says unique equipped embellished 2 on top of the, I cannot show you, but it's right under the item level. So now if you want to build something else, okay, this one is also embellished, this one. You could embellish, or if you're creating something else, like crafting another item, you could add a custom embellishment. And they're free. For weapon there is additional one which gives you physical damage basically. But let's talk about this one. That one is a little bit like quality of life, I don't know. Like when you die, your food just persists. It might save some money, I reckon, in the raid, but I don't think people are going to go for this one. They'll either go for the one that gives you mastery above 90%, which in progress raiding environment, it's not going to have good uptime. I'm not going to lie to you. I don't think this will be the go-to. However, this one, which is the potion absorption inhibitor, unfortunately I can't try it right now because it's not on the auction house, so I guess it's gated behind something, but like the recipe maybe. Basically, increase the duration of your potions. Yeah, so more damage. Obviously, for progress, that's going to be probably best. And this one is for tanks, but oh no, that one is the healing one. Basically, I don't know. It does some whatever damage, healing dirt. No, fire healing dirt. No idea. This one I'm clueless about. It's probably just healing, but I don't know how good the progress on that one. Now let's go to armors. I had one here. Yep, this one. Nope. I mean, yeah, that's pretty much as well. It's gonna do the job. We have this one for tanks, which is spikes. I unfortunately cannot say exactly how useful these are, but yeah, that's pretty much what you could do with crafting. Now, the next direction I would like to take you guys is what content you should be doing in the first couple of days. Now, I'll bring this here. One moment. Okay, so these are basically the item levels that you're going to be getting from dungeons. As you can see, the maximum highest end of a dungeon reward comes from basically 1920s, the same, so you could be doing 19s. It's 405, which equals the first 4 bosses from the raid. However, some of these are kind of... I think it will be kind of rough to do the first week. I mean, if you have the best gear or already some mythic gear and some crafted gear, you could pull it off, but the 20s were down on were rough on beta with tier sets and for enchantments and gems, which, you know, you might not have all of the best stuff at the start. So I reckon, personally, the best spot to be in, and by the way, I lied to you, it's 402, the first 4 bosses that are dropping from the raid. Let me just double check this in the background. Raid. Heroic. Oops. Yeah, it's 402. So the first couple of bosses are dropping 402. So basically the best spot to be, I would reckon it's like 17s, kind of. And another reason for that is, you remember the concentrated Primo infusions? You'll probably be able to, you know, farm a bunch of these here. So you're kind of hitting 2 birds with 1 stone. And it's going to be time efficient, hopefully, if your group is decently, you know, decent enough. If not, I would reckon you farm 16s. But anything below, you're not going to be getting Primo focus, you know, whatever, concentrated Primo focus. So I would suggest probably that's the number you're looking at. Now, in terms of which dungeons, and I'll come to this in a second. The second craft, the first one is the neck that I proposed already. The second is probably going to be a weapon, yeah. And a weapon, you could craft a one-hander from enchanting or inscription up to 408 or 418, or as I said, 445 from the dungeons if you can, you know, grind 19. But the first boss and the third boss, they drop, so basically second one drops a two-hander, third one drops an offhand, yeah. It's not very high in item level, so you might have to craft a one-hander with the second spark of Ingenuity. That is, like, personally for me, like, I cannot, like, I'm sure many of the raiders, like, world first raiders or like top 100 guilds are going to be doing it, but I cannot suggest this is the best case scenario for many people that are probably not grinding for that Hall of Fame, you know, achievement. The reason for that is because you don't get another spark until week 3, if I remember correctly. And if you get lucky from the vote, or if you, for example, go into Mythic with your guild, and I don't know how the tuning is going to end up, right? And if you go into Mythic and then you loot this, it's like only 3 item levels below the one that you're going to be crafting, if the craft is at maximum level as well, yeah? And that's the issue, right? Like, you're crafting a one-hander as well, you're not crafting a two-hander, so you have to be praying that you have an offhand that's a very high eye level as well, because then it offsets the point of crafting like a one-hander, you know? So the second spark, personally, for me, and we're in the 100-150 range at the moment with my guild, I would probably be a little bit conservative with it, not gonna lie to you. Like, depending on the tuning, if tuning is kind of easy and we're flying through some of the bosses, I might craft a weapon, but we'll see obviously how many weapons drop here, and you know, we'll see. But I don't reckon we're killing like all the bosses week 1, right? Even week 2, I don't think we're killing it until maybe week 3, 4. Let's say 4 is like best case scenario in my head. And by then, you know, you're gonna have another spark, so I don't know. I would much rather craft something else than a weapon. But yeah, if I get a drop from the vault week 2, and I've used my spark, then it's like I've lost an item basically, because I could have crafted another piece of loot with it. And I'll get to the piece of loot in a second, because actually, you know what? I'll take you through it right now. Now, if you're lucky, week 2 for the most people that forged that played dungeons and they're not competing for very high rank, the items that you could be crafting with your sparks, if it's not neck or weapon, it's belt or boots. And I'm putting question marks next to those two, because boots from last boss, which are going to replace your boots, and they have very good secondaries as well. But, you know, question mark. If you need to decide for yourself if you're getting to Razget soon or sooner or later. So that's probably one of the best slots for you to spend that second spark, because it doesn't interfere with any of your tier slots. It's higher stats, and as I said, it's an item that you probably, if you're not lucky from the vault, it's gonna take you a while to replace. The other one is I wouldn't say hands, because obviously one of those is a tier piece, and another one is like very high piece of loot is dropping from the boss. And here's the belt. This is another question mark. 418 you can craft, but obviously you need to get to the later bosses to kind of replace it. So like these are the two items that you could be crafting with that one if you're kind of super lucky with weapon and you want to spend it on. Or you can spend it on an off piece, which is not contested by any of the boss drops. It's not a tier piece, but it's not like very good on stats. It's the cape, which is 415, is the best that you can get from the raid. Obviously you can get higher from the vault, but you know, you probably have better options at the start of the expansion to pick from the vault, right? Like maybe a tier slot, maybe another weapon, maybe a trinket. Like there's so many pieces you're going to be picking up from the vault that you might as well craft a cape, which is like not the best, not the worst. I don't know, let me do a quick comparison. It's kind of weird. I mean, almost 410 versus how much? 265. Like, it's definitely not the best option, I'm not gonna lie to you, but you know, if you want to be economical with your choice, that's one that I'm probably looking at. If, you know, there is nothing for me to kind of spend it on. So yeah, moving from this point, I want to bring your attention to what dungeons you might want to be playing. And the reason for that. So, don't look at the numbers. It's actually my third time recording. Like I swear I've been so unlucky today, boys. Like both times. Like one time my what's it called? My electricity stopped in the middle of the video, and then the second one I had to get the door. Like so unlucky, but anyway, so that's funny story for you. That's the third time recording it. Now, which dungeons you should be playing on Wednesday? I would say Nohut and Algatar Academy. The reason for that is that you get 2 chances at a weapon, and both are like Mayhanders and two-handers here. So you're only going to need an offhand, which, you know, you could either craft or loot from the raid, you know. Now these are obviously not the highest item level, as I said. It's 405, so you know, it's kind of rough to recommend. Like, it's going to be different for every person, like depending on the content that you're doing, on the difficulty, on your goals. Like this will differ. However, you get probably the best chances to loot the gear that you kind of need in a trinket, for example, for Nukut, but it's difficult dungeon, so I'm not sure the highest that people are going to be able to do. And similar case here, like you're getting Algatar, you're getting items that you're, until you get a tier piece, a tier slot, it's going to be hard to replace. But walking into the raid with high enough gear, these are the 2 dungeons you're probably best for you to go into. Looking a little bit below, like you can probably run some holes, because there is a good 2-minute trinket that you kind of want, which is the Horn of Valor. But yeah, so basically that's the 3 dungeons that you might want to run at the start of the patch, season, I'm sorry. So yeah, that's pretty much going to wrap it up, boys. I hope this information was useful to you. I was hoping I'm a little bit shorter than 20 minutes, but it is what it is. I hope the information is extensive enough for you to, you know, make use of it. And yeah, I hope to see you soon, either on my stream or in my next YouTube video. Oh, by the way, the next YouTube video, I will go over the bosses. And I'm probably, like, I'll kind of make a suggestion what specs are good. I will try to bring maybe a little bit of information from Sims. And I'll also try to maybe give you some pointers when and where to use defensives. But yeah, I'll see exactly how much time I have for that one, for that video. I might have to pre-record some of it, but I don't know. We'll see how it goes. But yeah, I hope you found this useful. If you did, give me a follow, sub. I don't know. Like, hop into my Discord, say hi, or my stream. I will be streaming a lot come Wednesday. So I hope to see you all there. Thank you very much, guys, for watching, and I'll see you around. Take care.